Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Second video tonight. Tonight's video is going to be the Sydney Roosters Team of the Decade from 2010 to 2020. Let me just say right off the bat, the Roosters have had one of the best decades out of all the NRL clubs. They've won 3 grand finals. They won the 2013 grand final, 2018 grand final, and 2019 grand final. And they lost 2010. So they've been involved in 4 grand finals in the last 10 years, and what a great decade it's been for the Roosters. You know, obviously going down in 2010 and then having 2 pretty ordinary years, and then winning the comp in 2013, and then falling short in 14-15, 16 they missed the 8, 2017 they pretty much choked that season out. 2018 was a great year for them, and 2019 was a great year as well, and then 2020, they obviously fell short, so it's been a great record. It's been a great decade for the Roosters. But before I get into the video, I just want to say that if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do. We're currently at 1,042 subscribers, so the channel is doing very well, especially in the off-season. There's no NRL for another 50-something days, but if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, guys. I really do appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day or night to watch my video. So let's get into tonight's video. Now, the Roosters Team of the Decade. Some of these positions have been actually quite difficult to come up with, but we're going to go through it right now. So we'll go through the 1 to 17, and I'll tell you the coach of the decade. I think you guys probably already know there, but let's get into it. Fullback, James Tedesco. On the wings, Daniel Tupou and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. In the centres, Latrell Mitchell and Michael Jennings. In the halves, Luke Keary and Cooper Cronk. The front row of Jared Waerea-Hargreaves and Siasiwa Takiaho. The hooker is Jake Friend. The second row is the captain Boyd Cordner, Sonny Bill Williams, and the lock is Isaac Liu. And on the interchange bench, it is Anthony Minichiello, Mitchell Pearce, Dylan Napa, Big Puppy, and the versatile utility player, the reliable man, Mitchell Orbison. And the coach of the decade for the Sydney Roosters is Trent Robinson. Now, let's talk about Trent Robinson. He's done so much for the Roosters. Ever since he started at the Roosters, he's been fantastic. He's had so much success. Obviously, he's won 3 grand finals in the last 10 years. He's done a fantastic job. Only missed the finals once since he's been the coach of the Roosters. I know the Roosters have had a pretty stacked team since he's been there, and they've had a lot of quality there, but Trent Robinson's always been a great coach. Now, let's go through the team. So I've got Tedesco at fullback. A little bit of a controversial one in a way, but Tedesco has done so much for the Roosters since he got there. If some people had Anthony Minichiello at fullback, I would not argue with you at all. I can understand Minichiello at fullback, but I'm going to go with Tedesco. I think he's done so much in the last couple of years. Ever since he's been at the Roosters, he's been fantastic, and he's one of the best players in the world for a reason. So I've got Tedesco as the fullback. The wingers, I've got Daniel Tupou and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Now, Daniel Tupou plays on the left wing for the Roosters, and he's been a fantastic winger for the Roosters ever since he's been there. He's been there pretty much his whole career. He's a big, tall giraffe sort of bloke. He looks like a basketball player. He's just a beast, Daniel Tupou, and I think he is pretty much a no-brainer here, Daniel Tupou, so he makes the wing. The other winger I got is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He played for the Roosters for about 3 or 4 years, and then he left to go to the Warriors, and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's run at the Roosters was quite good. Won a grand final on the wing for the Roosters in 2013. Moved to fullback when Anthony Minichiello retired. So RTS's run at the Roosters was quite successful. So I think RTS makes the team somewhere. So I've got him on the wing. In the centres, Latrell Mitchell and Michael Jennings. Now, Latrell Mitchell was easily the best centre in the world when he was there. When the Roosters won those back-to-back grand finals, Latrell Mitchell was the best centre in the game, hands down. And he's just a strike player, Latrell Mitchell. When he was at the Roosters, he was absolutely outstanding. He was world-class, and I think he is pretty much a no-brainer here. So Latrell makes the centres. Along with Michael Jennings. Michael Jennings' best season was probably at the Roosters in 2013 when he was there. He won a grand final, scored the match-winning try. We all know the try that he scored. The ball almost went dead, and he somehow scored that try before it went over the dead ball line. And it was an unbelievable moment, and, you know, I think if you have a look at Michael Jennings' career, you know, he's played for Penrith, he's played for Sydney Roosters, he's played for Parramatta. I think his best stint was at the Roosters, and 2013 was an unbelievable year for Michael Jennings. Now, the halves, the 5'8" is Luke Keary, the halfback is Cooper Cronk. When Luke Keary joined the Roosters, there was a lot of backlash and criticism because he left Souths to go join their biggest rivals, the Roosters, which is understandable. I understand that. And, you know, ever since he went to the Roosters, he's had impact. He's never missed the finals at the Roosters, Luke Keary. He's won 3 grand finals, 1 with Souths and 2 with the Roosters. And he's still playing at the Roosters to this day. I think he's going to play halfback this season. But what a player he is, man. He is quality. He is brilliant. And I think Luke Keary's a no-brainer here for 5'8". The halfback is Cooper Cronk. Now, probably one of the best halfbacks of all time. Out of all the halfbacks I've seen play rugby league, I think I probably rate Cooper Cronk number 3, the 3rd best halfback I've ever seen. What a player he was, man, Cooper Cronk, you know. Winning 2 grand finals for the Roosters. Never lost a finals game with the Roosters. His finals record with the Roosters was 100%. In 2018, when his first year with the Roosters, when he won the grand final, they won the first week of the finals game against Cronulla, had the week off, then they beat Souths in the prelim final, then they obviously beat Canberra in the grand final, and then, oh no, who did they beat in the grand final? It was Melbourne, wasn't it? They beat Melbourne, and then in 2019, they beat, who did they beat? They beat Souths, then they beat, Melbourne, then they beat Canberra. So, Cooper Cronk, man, a world-class halfback, a quality player, and I think he is easily the halfback of this list. Absolute no-brainer. Now, the front row, Jared Waerea-Hargreaves and CSC Watakiara. Jared Waerea-Hargreaves has been there his whole career. We've got a helicopter flying over the bloody roof. But anyway, let's get back to the video. No distractions. Really, get off the roof! Anyway, front row, obviously I've got Jared Waerea-Hargreaves, man. I know a lot of people don't like the bloke. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of Hargreaves, but, you know, you got to respect his career, man. He's been at the Roosters his whole career. He's always been a very tough and physical player. Definitely pushes the boundaries, and, you know, I'll stuff it, I'll call it. He's a grub, but he's always been a great player for the Roosters, so he's a no-brainer on this list. The other front row is CSC Watakiaho. Now, he joined the Roosters in 2016, I think it was. 16 or 17, he joined them, and ever since he's been there, he's been outstanding for the Roosters. He used to play a bit of lock, now a bit of off the bench a little bit, but he's been playing front row ever since Big Puppy left, and he's been fantastic. So, Takiaho makes the front row with Hargreaves. The hooker is Jake Friend. This is pretty much a no-brainer. He's been the hooker for him for the last, well, I don't know how long he's been hooker there from now, 10, 15 years. So, Jake Friend's a no-brainer. There hasn't really been any other hooker play for the Roosters except for maybe backup players, but Jake Friend's a no-brainer here for the Chooks. The back row of Sonny Bill Williams and Boyd Cordner. Now, Boyd Cordner, the captain of the Roosters, he's won 3 grand finals. He is a great leader. Obviously, had his dramas with the concussion and the HIA protocols the last year or so, which has been unfortunate for Cordner. But what a player, man! What a leader! And Boyd Cordner is an absolute no-brainer. Probably one of the first picked in the Roosters team of the decade. The other back row was Sonny Bill Williams. Now, he joined the Roosters in 2013. Obviously, winning the grand final that year. And then in 2014, had another great season. And then he left, and then he came back in 2020. And great impact. I know that game against Canberra in the semi-finals last year was just inspirational. He brought them all back in the game with his, you know, leadership and his, you know, he inspired all the young players. So I think Sonny Bill Williams deserves to make the team somewhere here. So I've got Sonny Bill in the back row with Cordner. The lock is Isaac Liu. Now, a bit of a surprise one, I think a lot of people will think, but Isaac Liu, man, he's been at Roosters for so long. He's been very underrated. No one talks him up like the other players, you know. He's a very underrated player. He's always been loyal to the Roosters, and he's always done a good job with them. So, Isaac Liu, man, a consistent player, and I think he deserves to be here somewhere. So, I've got Isaac Liu at lock. And on the interchange bench, I've got Anthony Minichiello. Arguably, you could have him at fullback, but I've got Mini on the bench, man. Anthony Minichiello retired at the end of 2014. His last game was against the Rabbitohs in that preliminary final where the Roosters got beat. And Anthony Minichiello, you know, from 2010 to 2014, he was always a good player, man. He's always been a consistent player, Anthony Minichiello. So I think Mini deserves to be here somewhere. What a player he was for the Roosters. The other one I got is Mitchell Pearce. Now, if Cooper Cronk didn't go to the Roosters, Mitchell Pearce would have been a no-brainer here for this Roosters team of the decade. But Cooper Cronk's a 100% record in the finals. His 2 years at the Roosters probably overtakes Mitchell Pearce here. So Mitchell Pearce makes the bench anyway, so at least Mitchell Pearce makes the team somewhere here. The other front rower I got on the bench is Dylan Napa. Big puppy. Probably hasn't been the same player since he left the Roosters to go to the Bulldogs. You know, when you're in a good system like the Roosters, you're always playing finals footy, you're doing everything right. It's very hard to maintain that great form when you go to a club that has been struggling like the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. So Dylan Napa, man, he probably needs to pull his finger out and try and go back to that Roosters form. So I think Dylan Napa's run of the Roosters was fantastic. So I think he deserves to be in this team list somewhere. And the last player I got is probably my favourite Roosters player of all time, Mitchell Aubusson, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Utility, Mr. Versatile, Mr. Fix-It. Mitchell Aubusson, man, definitely a better back rower / centre, but he could play the odd game anywhere, man. He could play in lock, hooker, front row. Hell, he even played halfback in the 2019 grand final, where 2018 grand final, where Cooper Cronk's shoulder was like this. So, you know, Mitch Aubusson, man, what a player. A Roosters legend. I think he's going to be a life member of the Sydney Roosters. So I think Mitch Aubusson deserves to be in this team somewhere. So I've got him on the bench. But anyway, guys, that's my Sydney Roosters team of the decade from 2010 to 2020. Let me know your Roosters 1 to 17 in the comment section below. Is there anyone I missed out? Is there anyone that you think should be here? I look forward to hearing back. I look forward to hearing back the feedback in the comments section below. But before I do get out of here, I just want to say that if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do. There's a link in the description below. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so, man. There's a link in the description below. Personally, don't really care if you donate to the channel, but it's much appreciated if you do. But anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. Thanks for watching tonight's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night for another video. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching.